So here we go. Many of you have heard about this sticker campaign, and I want to just briefly describe this because it leads into the following of where do we take it from here and how do we actually get there? What's the road, the path? If Bill Zimmerman pissed you off, then prove him wrong with me. Let's get the grassroots to the point that we can pay for it. Because really, political alliances are never based on trust. They're based on pressure, on torque, on positioning. So what we're here to do is strengthen the California contingent to the point that you have to listen to us. There's been a successful triumvirate that people are very worried about here in California of DPA, MPP, and Graham Boyd. And we say it shouldn't be a three-legged stool. It should be a four-legged table to be the platform for California. And that's really what we're going for here. So help me prove it. Yeah, you can give me some love for that. Because really, this is about you. And this is about your voice and making sure that it is heard by those that do decide. And one of the important ways that we're going to do that, as much as I was big on facts and figures over the years, because I am a bit of a geek that way, I also learned that it doesn't change hearts and minds. Remember all that influence research? Yeah, nobody cares. And in fact, nobody trusts it either, because you can cook whatever set of numbers you want. So this is about the Voices for Reform. One of the exciting projects that we have coming up is actually a book project. A very talented photographer, Andre Francois, has done about 5 photojournal books with the likes of the UN and the World Health Organization to, pictures worth 1,000 words. And he can come take the stories of who it is we're talking about trying to help, from patients to the families that got left behind when their loved one went to jail, to the child that had to grow up without them, to the POW in prison, to the activists and the community that's making this happen. There are children out there that we've got to take this back to save the children. And through this photo book, while we're gearing up, it's kind of like a Kickstarter campaign. You give me $100, I'll give you the book when it's done. But in the meantime, as we find these stories, we can push them out as vignettes into the community. And we can also do exhibitions so that we're inviting community members in to see why, to have their hearts ripped out and tossed on the floor the way all of yours have so many times in the past. It's really about the Voices for Reform. And I encourage each and every one of you, because something brought all of you here, please share your voice with us. Go to the website, go to the very bottom, add your voice. Let us share your story, because it's Latino women talking to Latino women that will change this issue. So who are you and who do you know? Help be one of those voices for reform. The gay community won because they came out. I'm asking the same of you. All right. Second, we have the sticker campaign that everybody's talking about. And what's neat is it's not just the stickers. And a lot of you, you go into the grocery store, hey, how much would you like to donate to March of Dimes? So this is a way to reach all the people that never come out of the woodwork, not to vote, not to what, nothing, except to show up at their local dispensary, right? And that's when we're going to hit them. Few bucks? Great. There was your $5 from our 1 million people. And it's the dispensaries and the businesses, not just dispensaries, but multiple businesses in this sphere, from people that do clones to just even mainstream business, that can also do that, because reforming California is beneficial to all. So that's the front of the house push. But we've also got a back of the house push, because I also learned that a lot of you growers, cultivators, not the same thing, I've also learned. Because all cultivators are growers, but all non-growers are cultivators, right? That the only time you come out of the woodwork is often also at the dispensary. And so it's also asking these focal points to say, bring your growers in. Let us talk to them. And maybe they'll drop $20 when they drop their pound. And if we do that each and every time, we get to our millions. And the last short term that we have, 2 things. We have an ArcView pitch at the end of the month that I'm very excited about, that we have an opportunity for our acquisition campaign to get more boots on the ground. As well as just about every time one of you shows up to booth, you can buy 100 stickers. go sell them for $500, come back and buy 4 more rolls of stickers. Because it's each and every one of you that's going to help me ensure that California is written for California, by California. But make no mistake, Tamar was born here, and she feels like she's from California too. And so let's let the people that do care about California, let's give them the chance to do the right thing. And if not, we're ready. Yeah? Yeah. All right. Because really, this is about message, this is about money, this is about mobilization, and this is about management. And not everyone can do everything. And that's why I'm most pleased to announce, and also wanting to give Mr. Gonzalez credit for suggesting, the California Roundtable. He first brought it in with Pelosi, and I do believe it just might work for us. And we've already had wonderful initial conversations with our Grass Tops partners. They're aware of this. They said they'd show up.
We're drafting a charter.
And we are drafting a charter. And this is also the ability, we've really got to figure out designation of duties. I don't have time to go talk to Kiwanis Club. I'm busy talking to you guys. I need DPA to go talk to the environmentalists while we're having other conversations. There's different messaging, and it's important that we keep the messaging on track because, as Jim said, and I actually disagree, I don't think we have 4 Californias. I think we actually have about 12. And we're going to have to fine-tune our messages to each of them without pissing off the other one in the meantime. And someone's going to have to manage that. So it's all these different component parts with the California Roundtable.
No duplication of efforts.
Yeah, that's the big one. No duplication of efforts. How many of you have spun your wheels for entirely too long? Yeah, can we be done with that? So, as I look at those numbers that I swore I wouldn't use, California, 8th largest economy in the world, depending on the source, it's 6th largest to 8th largest economy in the world. That's $2.2 trillion in the California economy. We're also the 4th highest in unemployment. And what's very important to us, just as much as getting people out of prison, is also giving them a job. And with this social experiment that we're currently in, we've got to have strong communities, and the only way to have these healthy communities is to have a strong economy. 86% at last count of our businesses in this country were small businesses, and there is no reason that the cannabis industry shouldn't be exactly the same. And so I'm here to ensure that we find a path for the family and small businesses, that we protect medical. I don't have the answers of how, but I know that growers don't need to be regulated by the health department. Ag should be regulated by ag. So there are important points that we are hearing, that we are getting, that we understand. I'm not here to tell you how we're going to draft it. I'm here to tell you how we're going to get to drafting, because that's really what we're talking about. We have about 140,000 on our current list. 140,000, that's quite a bit. What's more exciting is 45,000 of them have committed to this particular effort. 45,000. We already have the biggest list. Now it's just a matter of growing it, because we're not big enough. I need to be at 1 million, right? You need us to be at 1 million. And just think about this for just a second, those numbers that Joe Trippi was throwing around earlier today. $100,000 investment. $100,000. That's not that much. $100,000 will earn us $5.7 million by the time we go to vote. I'm not asking for much. We're just asking for what we need to get it going. And I've been told over and over again over these years, you're not going to make any money off of your base. The base doesn't donate. I holler hogwash when the base knows what's good for them. Yeah? Yeah. What? Yeah. All right, just making sure. Do you want to say anything about the roundtable before I close?
Let me just say that we've had some very, very wonderful developments in the last week of what I would consider very collegial conversations with DPA, Marijuana Policy Project, and Graham Boyd. and we're all agreeing to agree, and then when we disagree, that we're not going to be disagreeable. And in the last conference call, and I explained that we need a California roundtable, very much like what happens in Washington, D.C., when people are trying to elect the president or trying to elect a majority in Congress or in the Senate. And that is where the AFL-CIO has a seat at the table, the Sierra Club has a seat at the table, the Emily's List has a seat at the table, the Human Rights Fund has a seat at the table. And all of these organizations basically say, okay, I'm going to take the western part of the United States, we're going to take the South, other people say we're going to take the Northeast, or some people say we're going to allocate this much money into these 10 congressional races, so you don't have to, you can spend it on another 5. And again, it is marshaling your resources and then marshaling those resources in a smart way so that people are not involved in a duplication of effort that wastes money and people trip over each other and unnecessary rivalries happen because you're both claiming turf and not agreeing who's the most effective person to really bring that turf home. So at the call that we had just a few days ago, it was very much an interest to do that. And I was given the assignment, to write up a job description for the California Roundtable, which will be circulated to DPA, MPP, Graham, Boyd, anyone else who wants to have it, and we're going to circulate it. We're going to come up with a charter that is going to create, a memorandum of understanding of each other, and it's going to become a memorandum of action. So let us not delve into past disappointments or past rivalries. As George Zimmer said at the beginning of this talk, that he sees this union in this room, the diversity in this room, and that we can move forward. And I'll tell you one thing, when George Zimmer says, I guarantee it, I take it to the bank. All right.
So many of you are familiar with the medical benefits of cannabis and why we promote the whole plant medicine. It's because of the entourage effect. It's because the sum of the parts can't ever be as strong, as powerful, as impactful as the total sum together. And I feel very strongly about this. We have all worked too hard and too long to screw this up now. 2016 is inevitable. As long as we do our homework, a win might be too. But we have to do our homework. And I will close with my favorite quote from Margaret Mead. Never doubt, a small group of thoughtful, concerned citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Thank you for being a part of this. Please make sure you give us your information. And thank you for being a part. I dare say this was a very successful event, so well done. Thank you for making that happen. And thanks again to our volunteers, our sponsors. Thank you, our panelists.